and I'm just going to have to fix the title because it's just going to be broken. So I'm really lit. Like you're saying, like you enjoy me as a human being. Yo, thanks for the sparklers. This is Debating MAGA number 5, and the thumbnail is going to show Debating MAGA number 3, so that's nice. Debates. Whoops. Supporters. All right, if you are a Trump supporter, let me know. Yo, Hayden, what's up? Emily, what's up? Yo, thanks for the cheeky wiggly, Kara. I appreciate you. It kind of sucks I can't see GIFs the same way on TikTok Live Studio, so it kind of breaks sometimes. But I love all of you. You're the best. Someone said bro needs to hydrate. I feel like I'd be hydrating a lot. I feel like keeping your lips moisturized in the current Chicago air is, well, how do I put this? A near impossibility. So don't worry, though. We have water. It's really just, it's like the sides of my lips. Someone said Indiana. It's cold out here, that's right. I put Aquaphor on like 3 times a day. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, Ryan, I'm ready. W fucking Ryan, bro. Good to see you. All right, if you are a Trump supporter, let me know. Maybe move the camera like here. Okay. Not much, man. Good to see you. Bro. Cannot say let me goon real quick in my bro. All right. All right. Let me pull up the YouTube live chat. We're going to let some people up. Good to see everybody. Oh, my goodness. What is going on, chat? Where it's always a good time pulling up the YouTube live chat because... All right. Okay. It's just a good time. Hold on, YouTube. Don't worry. All right. If you are a Trump supporter, where brother? I hate YouTube, this side of YouTube sometimes. Why can I not just pull up? Whatever. Debate Sarah who? I'll debate anyone, man. Okay. Oh, you know how I have to do it? I have to do this. Yo, thanks for that, Lori. I appreciate you. Thanks for all the gifts, guys. It means a lot. Truly, 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 truly. Okay. We're just gonna look at the chat like this for now. Army Navy tomorrow? I think so. Motorsport, maybe. You never know. Don J, love you, Chris. Do I read YouTube chat? P. Klein asks. Yes, I do. I do. Love, good to see you. How's the Jolly? Good to see you. The pizza, so good. Eric, good to see you. How's my week? Week was good. Chris, I'm live. Alex, good to see you. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. All right, let's let up a Trump supporter. Wow, 700 people in here. You guys are the best. Amanda, what's going on? Yeah, I'm letting people up. Yes. Jesus, my goodness. Chad, my goodness. Relax. Good to see you. Malbec, good to see you. Okay. Let's let some people up. Let's do this thing and immediately destroy the mood. I don't even mean to be like that. It's just every time I get on, this is like a joke now between Harry and I. It's like every time you get on TikTok Live, it's like, this is going to go well. It's kind of like waking up in the morning. Okay, well, that was kind of morbid. I shouldn't have said that. Okay. Oh, my goodness.
Yo.
Hello, how old are you?
What's up? I'm 19, 2006.
Okay, I voted for Trump.
Yeah, I most definitely did.
Okay. YouTube, by the way, let me know if the audios are right here. I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah, it sounds fun actually.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Why'd you vote for Trump?
Um, really just like the abortion laws, really that should be like implemented, like leaving it up to the state instead of like legalizing it across the board.
Okay.
I feel like that's going to be more moral than immorality of, saying, hey, we should just have abortions across the board.
Okay. Is there any other reason you voted for Trump?
Do you not have contentions with that?
No, I do. I'm just asking a question. I'm.
I mean, I do, but
Yeah.
like,
The answer is no. You're like a online like never touch grass debate individual, and this is about to be like painful. Do you know what the current maternal mortality rate in the United States is?
no, educate me.
Right. The United States has the highest maternal mortality rate in the developed world. I think we rank 55th. Do you know the definition of maternal mortality?
No, educate me. What's the
Yeah, the
definition?
definition of the maternal mortality is when a woman dies while pregnant, while giving birth, or
Mm-hmm.
shortly after birth. And
Mm-hmm.
after Roe v. Wade was overturned, especially in red states, we see like the maternal mortality rate after already being some of the worst in the developed world. We
Mm-hmm.
see the maternal mortality rate, increasing significantly in states like Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, because doctors there are leaving the state. A lot of women, are losing their primary care doctors if they, go to
Mm-hmm.
an OBGYN as their primary care doctor. And so, like, I think we've seen like an ample amount of death for both women and unborn children. A lot of those women obviously want to have pregnancies because of Roe v. Wade being overturned.
I don't think that exactly like you know addresses what I've stated. But I mean, I give a self defense principle. So
Yeah,
or like if you want.
the whole like I give a self defense. Yeah, so like it addresses what you stated, because as opposed to like always arguing the which I don't get me wrong, obviously I understand like all of these arguments will are come from a conversation around like a conversation around the inherent morality of abortion.
Mhm.
It relates to what you said because, believe it or not, there's a whole other side of politics where you have to like, even if there's an agreement on the moral principles of something, you still have to like figure out how government implements laws and how those laws apply to the people. And so even if you believe that abortion's immoral, there's a whole other portion of this where like because of how government interacts with individuals,
Oh well, sure, I agree.
there's unintended consequences to abortion bans.
Well, maybe not perhaps that, but honestly, if we're just look at it from a perspective of like a normative ethical view instead of like some kind of like pragmatic view. I mean, like in order to get to like the pragmatic view, you must go off the normative because
Yeah,
laws are just going to be based on morals.
of course, but like I find it like, I mean, I don't think that like it's really necessary for like two men to be having this conversation, but even in that, like I find it absolutely hilarious. Like
Wait,
sick.
so
Can I speak? I find it.
well,
I
you
find it. I
interrupted
find it
me.
hilarious in a sickening way that you would have an opinion on this and you don't know what the maternal mortality rate is. I mean, the constant conversation in politics consistently around this issue, and in states, when if you actually care about the issue, which I don't really believe that you do, is in states like Georgia, um, you know, half of women don't have a primary care, or excuse me, half of counties don't have an OBGYN. A lot of women are driving well over 2 hours to see a primary care doctor. And so there's all this debate around the fact that these laws are written in an extremely vague way. OBGYNs are getting up and they're leaving the state. Women are dying at the huge rates, especially black women, because of, not only when they're pregnant, but when they're not pregnant because they have a lack of access to healthcare because of the bill. And so it's like to not even know those things. It's like I just don't even think you should honestly be having this discussion. I think
Well,
it's
wait, just to be clear, I didn't make the definitive 100% that I didn't even know that. I actually asked, what's going to be your definition, right? Not saying I didn't know. Well, let's just get that clear. And you also presupposed my.
honestly a respectful individual, but I just have a feeling not somebody that's like, again, and I've said this many times, it makes people angry. Emily, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You're the best. And also YouTube, I turned up the volume a little bit for the guests. Let me know if that's better. Yeah, look, like respectful individual. I'm never like rarely in the business of just kicking people like that. There's, in my opinion, and this makes people so mad, but like it's just the truth. There's two sets of people. There's people who debate online because they want to win debates and they want to talk about like the Phil Bros. And then there's other people who maybe want to do that, but also care about the, I don't know, actual pragmatics of like government and law. And so like I don't think it's helpful to be having discussions about somebody who voted for Trump solely because of abortion. They don't know what the maternal mortality rate is. They don't know anything about the maternal mortality rate or any of these things, and they want to simply argue of, this like Phil Bro philosophy, which is great. And that dude would probably innately school me in going down this road because I'm not a fucking Phil Bro. But, also like, I'm sorry, I think people misunderstand why I do what I do, Like I just think that that's like a waste of time. I think that there's like democracy at stake. There's things at stake. There's women dying, and to like be sitting on a TikTok live like, well, you presuppose my aim. All right, bro, you be good now. You be safe. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Yo, Alec, thanks, dude. What is that? SpongeBob? Be having SpongeBob gifts up here? That's sick. All right, if you're a Trump supporter, you can let me know. God, dude, the fact that we have 1,400 people on TikTok right now is nutty. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm tweaking. We have 305 people, but I was looking at we have total. Oh, it shows my total views now. Don't worry. Later in the night, when other people stop going live, this is a problem with TikTok Live. It's competitive, and I'm not in the game. I'm not in the game these days on TikTok Live, All right. Let me up. I'm a Trump supporter. Bro, your name is Feet Lover 4. I'm not letting you up, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Also looking for people I haven't talked to. Kid, good to see you. Have I talked to Brock before? I feel like I've talked to Brock before. I feel like.
Yo.
I am feisty. I am pulling from TikTok.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up? Have we talked before?
Hey, normally I debate with my other friend too. Can you let him up and we can both get you at the same time? Because I know you like to talk really fast or whatever, so it's nice to have my buddy because he knows certain things that I don't, and I know the other things that he doesn't know. So we just kind of work off pairs.
Okay. Uh-oh. People in the chat saying not these guys. How old are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I said how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay. All right. Oh, dude, everyone's
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Relax. Not Brock.
Can you let my buddy up? So
Can
we
you
both talk,
relax,
or-
dude? Jesus Christ. What's your friend's name?
Dude, I'm calm.
Okay.
His name's Gage.
I cannot believe I'm doing this. Yeah, Gage Hardwell, 1994. What a great username right here. Very creative.
Hello?
Oh my God. Okay. So I have to basically debate both of you. Bro, people in my chat are like, don't do this. Who are you guys? Are you guys just like the worst human beings ever?
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, well, we got a 2v1 now. So anyway, why are we liking Trump?
I'm lagging.
I think my buddy Brock is lagging. I could start.
So let me. Can I actually? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I asked a question and then immediately interrupted. I apologize. And also, again, YouTube, let me know if it's loud enough here. Listen, let me just start here. The basic premise, okay? Donald Trump, currently, right now, consumer sentiment is at an all-time low. Donald Trump's polling, and I'm talking about polling that is very specific towards. For a second.
No, it's not.
Can I finish speaking?
Finish, Brock.
Consumer sentiment is like at or near.
Sorry, I'm lagging. I'm like super delayed. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Why don't you just request back up there, Brock? Consumer sentiment is near an all-time low. Inflation is rising. The unemployment rate is rising. This is the slowest pace of hiring this country has seen since 2009, excluding the pandemic. When you look at polls, all of Donald Trump's polls are the worst they've ever been, but specific to inflation and jobs in the economy. Those same polls that won him the election, the flip has been unbelievable. So we look at polls like, October 2024. How do you feel about Trump on inflation? He's plus 10. Right now, that same poll has him minus 26. And it's the same across the board. The economy blows. He's best friends with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not seeing all the Doge was a failure. Deficit is exploding. I'm trying to figure out how we could still possibly like this guy and what's going on with the fact that, the economy and also, the fact that he's in clear cognitive decline. He's orange. He talks to women in such an abhorrent way. What a surprise. I mean, he's a predator. Just like any of those things would be great to kind of touch on, especially the piece of like, most Trump supporters, a lot of Trump supporters and Trump supporters I've talked to are done with him because, it's like you promised a golden age on day one, and now everything is worse. I saw another great poll the other day. 1 in 5 Trump supporters say that they feel worse right now economically than they ever have. That's, wow, 1 in 5, 20%. You want to talk about midterms? I would just give up now. So that's where we're at. Someone said, where's the proof he's a predator? Are we serious right now? Continue. Or sorry.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna lead. So, I mean, all that you said, I don't know how much of it I believe, but what I do know is that even if our country is going and a lot of people are struggling right now, I don't necessarily think the administration and Trump himself are what to blame.
Okay. Well,
I mean, we might.
I do want to say again, you can't run on everything's going to be fixed on day one because I'm Donald J. Trump and I can do anything.
Okay, he was exaggerating.
Oh, I call that lying.
It's not a lie. They're two different things.
No. So when he said he was going to end the Ukraine war twice during the campaign, Charlie said he was going to end the Ukraine war within 24 hours. Was that an exaggeration or a lie? Because here's the thing: people's lives depend on those exaggerations. When I'm listening to a Trump supporter who says my business is destroyed because I thought the tariffs were going to be paid for by other countries, like that dude's life is ruined. Now his life is ruined because he's he's a fucking moron. But also, I believe that the president of the United States, I actually think the fault is of. It's got to be a troll, dude. There's no way. This has to be a troll. Do you guys want to address any of what I?
Hello? Is my microphone better? Can you hear me?
You guys here?
I'm here.
Okay. So you want to address any of what I said?
Well, mainly, so like I was saying that earlier, even if the country is at a hard point right now, I don't really think that President Trump is to blame. I mean,
okay, so
we've already talked.
What's causing these problems?
People are just in a hard spot right now, maybe.
But
First off, the country's not in a hard spot. The fucking damn borders just got fixed. So, what do you think about that, huh? What do you think about the border getting fixed, huh?
I don't think the border's fixed. We can talk about that in a second.
What do you think about no one coming across our border anymore?
I
What do you think
think
about
that
all
defines,
the DRUGs?
I don't think that defines the border as fixed. I actually think for a variety.
It kind of is.
No,
It kind of does.
I think,
When you got no more illegal aliens coming,
I think
that means it's fixed.
I think that for a variety of reasons that makes it worse. And I can.
What makes it worse?
I can
Less illegal aliens coming in?
No, the border being completely fucking shut down. Now, can I speak? What's causing inflation to rise? I'm more than happy to go to the border.
Go
in a
ahead,
second.
speak. What?
Inflation rising. Why?
And it's not rising.
It is.
Maybe because the shop vendors are raising their prices.
Okay, why would they?
Yeah, have you ever thought about that? Do you know that the government doesn't own all the stores? Did you know that they actually have private stores that can raise the prices whenever they want, you idiot?
Trump can't control that, dude.
How did you feel about Joe Biden's inflation?
It was less. It was more than Trump.
His inflation was horrible. Everything was expensive as hell.
I wonder what was going on then.
It costed me like $10 for a fucking taco, dude.
Yeah, it's because of COVID.
No, well, who was president during that time?
Donald Trump lost more jobs. Donald Trump's one of only 2 presidents in American history to lose more jobs.
Oh, he only
gained.
lost 4 jobs? He only lost 4 jobs? Boo-hoo. Donald Trump lost 4 jobs? It doesn't mean anything, dude. You know how many Biden lost? Biden lost hundreds of thousands.
I don't even, that wasn't even the point. It's just like, okay, all right. I can't. This has to be
20.
Chad, this has to be a troll, right? There's just no way this is a joke.
Well, we would say something. We would have been able to respond to you if you said anything smart, dickhead. But you keep being a fucking asshole all night long, talking about nothing, pulling shit out of your ass, rubbing it all over your screen.
right, that's gonna be a kick. It's gonna be a kick. Did you guys know that shop vendors, they actually can raise their prices for whatever reason they want? Okay, bro. All right. That's right, J Per. That's how it happens sometimes. They're light work, just atrocious views. Not wrong about that. Not wrong about that. If you're, yeah, it's a bit. It's definitely a bit. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Kiss, good to see you. Krista, good to see you. You did warn us. Anna, thanks so much for $10 on the YouTube super chat. It's very kind. You're my fave debater, always in good faith and genuine conversation. I'm sad I'm headed to the club and can't watch your full stream. Also, Brock and Gage are cringe. Wow, that's so fucking. Can we get a million W's in the chat for Anna? That was so kind. That is so kind. Wow, thank you. I very much appreciate that. I try to be good faith. I try to have genuine conversations, even genuine when I'm angry. Thank you so much, Brock and Gage are cringe. Feisty, $10 on the YouTube super chat. Holy shit, you guys are crazy. Thank you so much, Feisty. Thanks for being here. No, they're real. Well, they might be, but I hope maybe we're all just begging that they're fake, because it's like you can't actually believe that they're real. Someone, who is this? I think we have another $5 super chat on YouTube, but I can't. Oh, Dark Sunray. Great to see you. You guys are so kind. Keep it up. Epstein was invited to Mar-a-Lago. Correct, Dark Sunray. Can we get some W's for Dark Sunray? So good to see you. I appreciate you being in here. You're the best. You are the best. Huge W's for Anna, Dark Sunray, and Feisty. It truly goes a long way. I know things are not easy right now, and I just want everybody to know, like, that I do these debates for fun, and there's like the fact that people would be willing to support means the absolute fucking world. I mean it, really, in any capacity. I never take it for granted, ever. The fact I'm able to talk about what I love is incredible. All right, if you are a Trump supporter, let me know. I'll bring you up. Did they impeach Trump today? Are we serious right now? Is that supposed to be like is a Trump supporter just like trying to be funny? It's not funny. Bring me up if you think the wage gap is real. What? Support some of his policies. What policy? Okay. Be great if it's true, Krista. Trump needs to be impeached. My guy needs to be in jail. Ryan West. I like all these very like just Ryan and Chris just fucking chopping it up. Two very unique names. Just two white guys hanging out.
Chris,
hello.
What, dude? What are you doing, man?
Do I know you?
Yeah. No, we debated before you kicked me. Hey, let's talk about Trump's first term, and then we'll move to the second term.
When did I debate you and kick you?
I don't know, last week or something, dude. I was cooking you hard, and you can't handle it, man. You don't have thick skin, Chris. That's the problem. You're like Dean Withers. You got the same receding hairline. You laugh. You do your stupid donations. You don't shave at all. Chris, you haven't even hit puberty yet, buddy.
How old are you?
I'm 41. How old are you?
I'm 23. I was just like, it's kind of strange.
Yeah, dude, you're just a noob, man. You're a young guy, bro.
Strange. I'm just saying,
it's
strange.
crazy, dude.
I'm just strange to just be like talking about like you've never hit puberty. Like as a 41-year-old man, I would never say that to another.
I know, but bro, you up here just bitching about Trump every day is diabolical, man.
I definitely don't go live every day.
So
hey, I don't go live.
Chris, hold on, Chris.
So here's the deal. I would love to actually try to have a conversation. I'll be kind.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't go live every day. I just go live for fun. I don't do live full time like I know a lot of other people do every single day. I do a lot.
But bro, you're a spitting image of Dean, and you got to knock that shit off. You got to be your own person, Chris. You act just like Dean Withers, buddy. Okay, so let's have a conversation.
By the way,
let's talk about the economy, okay, Chris? Okay. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017, was that good for America?
Ryan,
yes or no?
Ryan, can you just take a breather for like 2 seconds?
Sure, go ahead, man.
I'm trying to be genuine here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have a conversation with you really quickly. PDX Pete just sent me $50 on YouTube.
Yeah, we've already established that, Chris. We're talking, bro. Stop debate. Let's talk, okay?
I'm gonna talk, but there are individuals in here who are literally who are supportive enough to send me actual monetary dollars, which is insane. Because again, stop, please. I would like to have a conversation with you, but there are people up here who, every morning when I get up and I have to get groceries or I have to do things, PDXP, $50 is crazy. That is so unbelievably effing kind. So I'm just trying to say thank you, okay? And give him a second to just say thank you. That's it. So from the bottom of my heart, that is unbelievably kind. I do not take that for granted ever. Again, I do just do these lives for fun. And the fact that you guys are willing to support like that means so much to me. Thank you. Get a million W's in the chat.
Yeah, and Chris, you know what you should do with the money? You should donate it to
much.
veterans, buddy.
Thank you so much.
You should donate the money to veterans, bud.
We do some charity stuff here. We've done.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Hey, Chris, did you like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017? I know you were like 13 years old and you didn't have a fucking job. But don't you think corporate tax rate from 35 to 21% is good for corporate companies? You know, they pass the money down to their employees, right?
You think trickle down economics is?
Yeah. Dude, I mean, bro, I'm a small business, Chris. I start my fucking guys out at $50 an hour, dude.
That's fantastic. That's great. That's great.
How much do you make an hour, Chris?
I don't know.
You don't know how much you make an hour?
No, I do politics like.
Hey, do you know about the he doubled the standard deductions?
Okay, so I'm genuinely happy to have a conversation, but we actually have to be able to talk. I haven't been able to respond to like any of what you're saying.
Yeah, I know, Chris. You don't pay federal income tax, buddy, so it's hard for you to understand that. You know the stock market hit a record high pre-COVID.
Okay, do you want me to respond to any of this, or you just want?
Sure, go ahead.
You want I mean, as a 41-year-old, you could pay I pay hourly once a week on Thursdays to go to therapy. You could do that and use that time to rant. But
Chris, you go to therapy
once a week, every week for the.
That's sad, bro. How are you 23 years old in therapy? Hey, when I was 23 years old, Chris, I got out of the fucking army, buddy. Did I go to therapy? No, you guys are so fucking soft now, dude. Hey, Chris, answer me this question, please, for the love of God. Do you drink soy milk? Yes or no?
I don't drink soy milk.
I'm pretty sure you do, bud. Okay. And your testosterone levels are in the tank, guy. When's the last time you got your T levels checked?
I'm getting my test levels checked on Monday, and I
guarantee
I will come back with my results.
Thank you, Chris. I guarantee you're like 200s. You're like mid 200s, bro.
So I just want to point out, part of the reason we're talking about, part of the reason I said that, therapy is good for everybody. As a 41-year-old man asking another man about his test levels, I would assume you're projecting because if your penis is small, that's okay. It's about the motion of the ocean,
Chris,
as many people say.
I'm not trying to measure penis size here, but dude, when you deploy for 5 years in the army in Iraq,
so you trigger him right there. He gets so mad at that. It's just like instant because the insecurity just
let me finish, bro.
The insecurity just
Chris,
bleeds.
let me finish, guy.
The insecurity bleeds.
Can you stop muting me, Chris?
Dude, I don't even know why I've tried relentlessly to
Let's just try to talk, bro.
Are you kidding me? You're gonna go with the line.
Chris, why do you need therapy though, bro?
I've been going to therapy. I've gone to therapy for a long time.
I mean, Chris, I was deployed for 5 years, bro, and I'm not in therapy, bud.
Okay. Therapy is not for doesn't have to be for a specific reason. Everyone can just go. It's good.
Bro, what hardship do you have? What's wrong with your life, buddy? You live at home with mommy and daddy, guy.
I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment across the country from my parents. It's number one.
I mean, bro,
number two, I don't have much hardship in my life compared to a lot of other people. And especially.
So what do you go for therapy for? What do you talk to the therapist about then?
Okay. So
I'm just genuinely curious.
Yeah,
bro,
I'm going to try one more time to have a conversation with you about this, and then I would like to go to politics. And if you cannot do that as a 41-year-old grown man, I'm going to have to kick you. But I'm going to try to be respectful, okay?
Let's go. Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
So when I was, I don't know, in kindergarten or first grade or somewhere around there, I would cry every single day on the way to school because I was afraid of all the germs around me. And it was pretty indicative, very young, clearly of obsessive compulsive disorder with it.
So you're a germaphobe.
Can I please? I'm trying really hard right now. Please. I'm not. But it's pretty indicative, something like that, of obsessive compulsive disorder, which is a genetic disorder. I would find out later my grandfather had it. And so I've been in therapy for a long time for both OCD, ADHD, and any other, anxiety, mental issues that a lot of people deal with. So I've gone for a long time to try to deal with mainly a lot around my obsessive compulsive disorder. There's your answer. I also think that regardless of that, it's just a really good thing to do for most people if you have, it's really expensive, but if you have the ability to do it, because again, you want to be I don't know, it's good for your life.
Okay, I guess I understand, man. I
Okay,
think
so let's talk
you know,
about
going to therapy because you're scared of germs is a little that's a little suspect, buddy. But
that's
okay,
not
let's talk about the politics, man. I don't want to go. I don't want to low blow or anything. I want to hit you with facts, okay, Chris?
okay.
So let me ask you this: did Donald Trump have the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years? Yes or no?
No,
You're lying, bro.
Joe Biden. That would be Joe Biden had the lowest unemployment rate of 54
I
years.
said in 50 years. Hold on, in
Okay.
50 years, do you know 50? So
Yeah,
from
that would
2020.
that would be Joe Biden in 2023. He had 3.6%, the lowest in 54 years. The answer to your question is no.
Biden, Trump was 3.5, buddy.
No, the answer to your question is no.
Trump was 3.5.
Or I'm sorry. I
unemployment,
think
yet
then
he-
I'm sorry. I think I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think I don't know what the exact. Maybe it was 3.4%, but definitely the answer to that question is Joe Biden. It was the lowest in 54 years. I know this for a fact.
Oh, 54 years. Okay, so you're going 54 years.
Okay, but regardless of like this tit for tat, like why don't we talk?
Because
why
everybody
don't
went back to work, Chris, when
Okay,
they weren't working
right.
because of COVID, bud.
Okay, so why don't we go instead of going tit for tat? Why don't we just like talk about the economy now, shape of things now?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm just like, bro, under Trump's first term, I did amazing, bro.
Okay,
I made a shit ton of money. Okay,
that's amazing.
okay, so hold on, Chris, Chris.
that was 8 that was like 8 years ago. Let's
Okay, but
let's
Chris,
talk about the
if I'm
economy now.
comparing- Chris, if I'm a business owner, bro, and I go through Obama's administration, Trump's administration, Biden's administration, and then back to Trump's, and let's say my company did $5 million in sales revenue under Trump.
Okay.
Don't you think that's a good thing?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think two things.
Okay, so hold on, Chris. If I did $1 million under Biden's administration, which president would you pick?
Well, I wouldn't. I'm going to answer your question honestly. And
Okay.
then, again, I'd like to talk about the economy now. The answer to your question is, I think that that's a really bad, very short-sighted way to look at the most complex economy ever
Bro,
built.
he lowered my taxes.
Can I please finish speaking?
He lowered my
I'm
taxes.
going to give you
Chris.
an explanation.
Okay.
I don't want to kick you, and I don't want to use the mute button. I'm trying to have a conversation. You're double my age. I know you can do it. You've done it throughout your life. Okay. Again, I think that's a bad way to look at things like this because we have the most complex economy on the face of the planet, and not everything devolves into, oh, I made this much money, so it must be the result of one man. So like that would be what we call correlation without causation. For example, people say, oh, Chris, Biden was bad economically because inflation was high. I say, well, I don't think there's any economic evidence to support the idea that inflation was the main cause of inflation was Joe Biden or his government. And in fact, I think Joe Biden, can I please finish? I think Joe Biden passed more fiscal legislation and was one of the most impressive presidents economically in the last 7 decades. And I think that down this idea of correlation without causation, you talk about Donald Trump's first term. Donald Trump, during his first term, was one of only 2 presidents to lose more jobs than he gained. He lost 3 million jobs compared from the start to the end. Would it be fair for me with that context to say, oh, based on the fact that he's literally statistically the worst jobs president ever, his economy sucks, so therefore he's horrible at everything economically. Why would that not be fair?
Bro, what the fuck did you just say?
What
the fuck did you just say,
Okay,
guy? You're fucking word salad, Chris. Hold on, Chris.
I'm gonna.
Let me explain,
okay,
bro. I just let you talk, dude. Let me talk
no,
now.
you said, calm down. You said, you said, what did I say? Donald Trump is statistically the worst jobs president in U.S. history, his first term. He lost 3 million jobs, something like that. Do you think that that's a fair analysis of Donald Trump's economy? He's the worst jobs president ever? One of only 2 presidents to lose more jobs than he gained?
Hey, what was the unemployment under Biden, bud?
No. I'm just asking.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. Hey, Chris, listen, dude. I just let you talk for 3 minutes, okay?
Do you understand? But the thing is like I'm asking you a question. I'm going down based on what you said last. Can you hold a conversation? Can you follow logical steps?
Yeah, I'm holding a conversation.
Okay,
Donald
so
Trump,
the point I was making was that like obviously COVID played a huge role in Donald Trump's economy. So
Donald Trump had the lowest unemployment pre-COVID. Did he not, Chris?
okay, but I'm saying okay.
Did he not, Chris? It's a yes or no. He did. Just say yes, he did.
I don't think he did. I think that would go to.
He did, bro. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think
Where are you getting your info from?
I think the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I think the lowest unemployment rate.
He was 3.5, and then your so-called Biden came in at 3.4. Correct?
Okay, so wouldn't that mean Joe Biden's lower?
I mean, bro, you could say that, but when you have massive unemployment, people go back to work. He reached like 15% unemployment rate, dude.
Okay.
So yeah, when they all go back to work, of course the unemployment's going to dip.
What business do you own?
A manufacturing company.
You own
We private label for. Here's the reason why I want to talk about this, Chris.
Do you have like
Chris? Chris, I ship freight. You know what shipping pallets
you
are?
should
Like
go
freight?
you should go to a doctor.
I should go to a doctor.
I don't
Hey,
know
Chris,
if-
do you know what freight costs right now to ship a pallet right now?
I've tried relentlessly to I can't. We're not even talking about anything, and I think it's you just came up here so angry. I think you know you have some insecurity issues. You need to take a deep.
You guys wanted to stop fracking, Chris. You guys want a zero emissions policy, bro. That's what you wanted.
I think moving toward a zero emissions
Did
policy.
Kamala say that? Did Kamala run on that?
Kamala is her name.
Kamala, did she run on that? Yes or no?
I think the Biden administration.
I'll pull the video up.
I didn't even respond to you.
You were going to say no, Chris.
I was going to say that the Biden
administration. I know you more than you know yourself, Chris.
I was going to say the Biden administration ran on a zero emissions policy by, like 35. So yeah, that was Kamala Harris's policy.
Okay, so Chris, if we stop fracking and we stop drilling oil, how are you going to get to work, buddy? How are you going to put oil in your car?
Yeah, it's a really actually good question and a hard one to answer, but we're trying to, we don't really as humans, we don't have a choice, right? We can either
We do have a choice, Chris. We haven't even tapped 1% of the oil on this planet, buddy.
Do you have a wife?
No, Chris, I don't. I'm not married, man.
That's not surprising.
Hey, Chris, we haven't even tapped into 1% of the oil on this planet. What do you mean, bro? The fossil fuels is abundant, buddy.
Okay, yeah, it's not good for our planet.
Hey, Chris, we have catalytic converters that take all the emissions out of the exhaust. Hey, guess what? I run actually one of my cars on ethanol, Chris. It doesn't even put off smog, buddy. I run a car off of straight corn alcohol. Do you think AOC's proud of me? Do you think AOC's like, Ryan, you're doing a great job?
Have you ever made a woman finish before?
Yeah, Chris. I mean, bro, I banged your mom last week, dude. I mean, what do you want, dude? You really want to go to fucking dick measuring contest, or do you want to talk about politics, buddy? You guys ran on a zero emissions policy. You wanted to fucking ruin the oil market, bud.
We've tried once to have go down every single
Chris,
time.
what kind of car do you drive, buddy?
Do you want to talk about politics? I'm going to give you one more chance.
We are talking about politics. Okay. You have to put oil in the car, guy.
Well, you got a violation, so I had to remove you. I mean, I can't even we can't even talk about, we can't talk, So that's a sane individual right there, folks. That's a good. That is actually a great. It's actually really what's the word? Ironic. He's like, why would anyone need to go to therapy? It's like, you're a good. That conversation was a really good example, actually, of why people like you should go to therapy. Chris, that was your fault. Are we serious right now? Okay. No, he did seem really secure. I think he's doing well in life. Big hands. He told me. He's big as hands. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Good to see everyone. Don't tap the screen. Double tap the screen. Spicy, good to see you. I love you. What a great individual. I love everybody here. We're doing good here. Oh, thank you, Casper. I appreciate that.
What's up, Chris? How are you?
Good, man. How are you? How old are you?
I am 31.
Yo, Diana, thank you so much. You're very kind. You're the best. You're 31. All right. What do you think? How do you think of how Trump's doing?
Well, to be honest with you, I voted for Trump 3 times.
Okay.
I will tell you that I'm extremely disappointed with the 3rd term. I feel like he was masked as I feel like he was masked as a outsider, but he's really an insider. And I think there's a lot of things that are coming to light. And I think we've had debated a few times. I was pretty pro MAGA, but I have to say that I'm very disappointed with this administration and some of the, there was no new wars. There's been wars. He's letting Putin run all over him. He's causing aggression in South America. I could get into the whole Israel thing, but I might get canceled for that. But all to say, it's this agenda is not working for people that are working class and middle class. I think we're seeing more income inequality than we've ever seen, and it's I think we were all duped, and I've had debates with you and Harry before, and I'm not a Democrat or a liberal by any means, but it's sad to see the Republicans eating each other alive right now, and it's not good. So
That it is not. And again, I appreciate you coming up and sharing some of those thoughts, especially considering we've debated before. I know that it's kind of a sentiment I've heard from a couple different people, some different people, different Trump supporters. Things are not great, and I think that he definitely, the whole touting as an insider or an outsider definitely is coming to light a bit. So. I obviously know that does not make you a Democrat by any means, but it's I think you share a sentiment also that a lot of people, on both sides, really dug their heels in, and so hopefully there will be somebody in 2028 who will kind of break through some of this mold of the toxicity,
For sure, and I know your goal is to talk to MAGA supporters, so I'll hop off here, but I think I was. I've been a hardcore Trump supporter for 12 years, and I think a lot of us are more disappointed than we've ever been. So anyways, enjoy your conversations
Thanks,
tonight,
man.
but I think we need to have honest conversation about how people that voted for him feel. So
Yep. Well, Sam, I really appreciate you being respectful. I appreciate, excuse me, you sharing those thoughts. We'll see what happens moving toward the midterm. But you're welcome back anytime. Share whatever other thoughts you have. And again, I know that this by no means makes you a Democrat, but it's good to. I don't want to say I feel like seeing the light. I'm not trying to say seeing the light. It's condescending. I don't think that's what's happening. I'm just saying it's
an evolution. It's a journey.
Yeah,
right?
And as we all are. My views will change significantly. In 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and just so many people can't change their views at all. So I don't know. I appreciate hearing your thoughts, and like I said, you're welcome back anytime. And I hope you have a good weekend, man.
You too, brother. Take
Thanks,
care.
man. You too.
All
Be
right, see
safe.
you. Bye.
You know what? W Sam. W's. Just take your wins. Take what you can get. And again, I know that inherently, and I get this way too. The answer is and I say this all the time. It's we warned you, we told you. Get very angry, get upset, and I get that. Trust me, I do that all the time. Get angry on YouTube. I also think to just remember, try to. This is very easy for me to say also being a straight white male in America, but inherently just remembering why we do what we do. The goal is for people to not like Trump and to move toward a better direction. And sometimes for me, that means just you got to buy, you just got to be what? Happens, man. And then if the goal is that, and then he's seen okay, Trump is not who he said it was, then is there really a need to harp on the past? Although I say that as I'm taking the moral high ground, as if I don't rage every single day. I get angry. I'm dude, we fucking told you. Especially watching if I was in a bad mood, he might have said that, and I might have just snapped. But it's okay. If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Kayla, thanks for being a mod in here, and Maggie as well. I appreciate you guys. Oh, Jack Farr's mom is in here as well. I appreciate you. You guys are all the best. So good to see everyone. What? Oh. Did you guys see the Duolingo pillow? The pillow Duolingo sent me? Double tap screen, everybody. Share it live. Do you want to? Do you want to? I muted you. Do you want to chat about politics or who's making dude? Who's making MAGA like slop music these days? Who's cooking the MAGA slop music? Hello. Damn, someone already got the party remix going on there. He's like, I can't. I'm just. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised that there's like a MAGA slop song like that, but it's just like I'm like, dude, who is? There's no way people listen to that, right? I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's right, Tia. We ain't got no milk. My ears. That's right, Tia. That's right. Well said. Big Ten.
How's it going, Chris?
It's good. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
How old are you?
30. I gotta think about this. 39. 39.
39. Cool. How do you feel about Trump? How he's doing?
Well, I didn't vote for him the first time, but I voted for him this last election. I was a little skeptical first go around just because he didn't have like a track record. Um, but I felt like his track record was proven enough for this second election, so I did vote for him this time, and I felt like we needed a little bit of a change. I thought I had some problems with some of the things that were going on in the country. A big part of that was the border, not so much the economy. I mean, I'll be honest, the economy wasn't terrible for me personally under either of them. So like I didn't notice a huge change between either of them, Trump and Biden, most recently, obviously. And there's not a lot of things that I don't like about Trump. Um, the handling of COVID, I felt like he could have done a better job with that for sure. But then again, I mean, I feel like it's been a long time since we've gone through something like that as a country. Um, you guys were talking about wars that are going on, and I will recognize the recent aggression with Venezuela is definitely escalatory. But I feel like kind of everything else that was stated in reference to those wars was kind of unfair because, I mean, let's face it, the Ukraine Russia thing was happening before Trump was in office. Um, and even the Israel and Gaza conflict, that wasn't a Trump specific thing either. In fact, he brought that to an end, or at least as close to an end as we've seen since it kicked off. So like when it comes to the whole no wars thing, yes, we did bomb Iran with a strategic attack. So if you would like to view that as a war, but I think that actually kind of stopped things from there, because what happened after we bombed them? Did the war escalate, or did it come to a pretty abrupt end after that? There was a few more strikes and it was over.
Got it. Well, let me just for a second, and you might have said this, but I might have misheard or might have not heard. So your main reason for voting for Trump was
The immigration
was the
crisis, yeah.
immigration. Okay. Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, look, I think that like in terms of like a lot of the wars you're referencing here, again, I think that like a lot of the frustration, at least for, I don't know, some Trump supporters, people like me, would be, like the first thing that pops in my mind when you say a lot of these things were going on, it's like, again, I think Trump's running point was not I can solve these things because this is my plan and I have a better plan than everyone else. It's no, I can solve these things because I am Trump, because I am not Republican, I'm not Democrat. I can actually just make phone calls and solve things because I'm this kind of grandiose figure who's, the master negotiator who can do no wrong. And so
I would
like,
agree with you. That was his point.
Right. And so it's just like, okay, the Ukraine, like his whole point was like, he said twice during on the campaign trail, I can end the Ukraine war within 24 hours. One phone call. I have a great relationship with Putin. And it's like, okay, now things are like not good and really bad. And I'd say like,
Yeah, no, I totally concur and agree with you on that aspect. Like he definitely promised that he said on the campaign trail multiple times that, hey, this number one, it wouldn't have started under me, and number two, it's going to be over within like the first 24 hours.
mm-hmm,
And yeah, that's a promise made, promise not kept. I would totally agree with you on that.
right. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, it's definitely,
But when it comes to him and wars in general, he's not a war hawk. Like you can't like how is he on any scope or scale a war hawk any more than any other previous president?
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the answer to that. I think that like foreign policy wise, I think he's like completely and totally incompetent, and his foreign policy is often based on whoever talked to him last, or in some cases just based on how angry he is that day. And I
Like,
think that we've heard from a lot
why
of
do you think that? Why do you like what demonstrates
I
his incompetence with foreign policy that you can give me an example of? This
sure.
is a demonstration of his incompetence.
Sure. Well, first I want to mention that like we've heard from a lot of his 40 of his 44 cabinet members from his first term didn't endorse him, and a lot of those individuals being some of the brightest, I'd argue, foreign policy minds of our in a long time have just said out loud that he was fully incompetent. As chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, someone General Mark Milley said that he was a narcissist and had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah, that
Like,
wasn't my question.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
I think this is
No, I
important lead
understand.
up.
There's a
I
lot
think
of people that hate him and will say anything
okay,
bad about
but
him.
but
I
but but I
understand
but
that.
I don't think that that's a fair. But I really don't think that that's fair. I mean, General Mark Milley is like someone who's sacrificed. When you look at his past, sacrificed so much for this country. I don't really believe that Mark Milley, being hand selected as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and being who he is in his past, would just say remarks on Trump because he hates Trump. I mean, I think he would say that as to be genuinely true, and I think that it's true of a lot of his administration, of people who said, Rex Tillerson famously said that Donald Trump didn't know. It's impossible to have a conversation with Trump about anything foreign policy wise because he didn't understand history. And I think there's many quotes around this. I think a good example of it actually happening is just a few weeks ago. He canceled any deal he was doing with Canada in regards to the tariffs because, as he said, he was angry that a fake ad was being run on Canadian TV about how Trump was bad. That's a great example of Donald Trump's policies, foreign policies, being decided in a moment where he's angry because Canada supposedly doesn't like Trump. I think that's a prime example. I think other prime examples of him, again, foreign policy wise, being either not knowing what he's doing or showing that he, will do whatever is in the ear of whoever told him last, I think would also be on the Iran issue. I mean, we saw in 2 weeks' time, Donald Trump practically do a full 180 on this issue. We're not attacking Iran. We're not attacking Iran. I'm not doing it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, and we're hearing through these press conferences, it's like a light flipped. A lot of people notice this. Then we bomb Iran, and we get reporting that he was watching a lot of Fox News. Israel was being touted as this incredible military that had unbelievable intelligence. And from people who were close to Trump, they said that he started to talk about how he, looked up to that. He wanted some amount of, was suggesting that he had played some role in that, even though he hadn't. And this kind of like grandiose stuff started like further escalating. And then, you see the flip and he strikes Iran. Now, if is the reporting true or not, I don't know. But I know that, he certainly did a full 180 on his position there in practically a matter of days. He did a full 180.
Can we hang on for just 1 second and
sure.
Kind of before we get. And you're saying he did a full 180, and that Trump said that your exact words were not attacking Iran.
I think that might.
Are you implying that to mean that we're not going to attack Iran? That he said that?
Yeah, I mean that might have been a little hyperbolic, but certainly that he was making comments strongly toward.
He was definitely making comments, right? And you might have interpreted them as meaning we're not going to get involved or we're not going to attack them, but he never said we're not going to attack them.
But
he played his cards very closely to the vest, and he did say that we're not at war with them. We're not going to war with them.
Let's see.
But I,
Let me see.
I don't think it's a fair characterization that Donald Trump ever came out and said that we're not going to attack Iran.
Let's see. Let's see if that's true. Give me 1 second.
He
Quote.
expressed a lot of ambiguity.
Quote. Hold on a second. Quote, I don't want them going in because I think it would blow it. Might help it actually, but could blow it. We've had very good discussions with Iran. Quote, I prefer the more friendly path.
I may do it, he said. I may do it. Any president that's worth his grain in salt would say, yeah, I'm leaving the option open, right? Of course you're going to say you're going to leave the option open because you don't know what the future holds. It's a reasonable thing to say and not publish to Iran your potential war plans. And he's been very consistent with not publishing. He's even chastised reporters that have asked him over and over and over about potential war plans. And now he just says basically, well, that would be stupid for me to tell you that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to comment on what I might do when it comes to these types of situations because that would put us at a strategic disadvantage.
Hold on. There's a good.
You setting up a date or are you looking something up?
I feel like there's much better
Both.
quotes. No, I'm not. I feel like there's much better quotes about on Trump flipping on this issue. Give me.
I don't know much about you, man. Like I've talked to Harry, I've talked to Parker, but like,
Sure.
do you run in those same circles?
Yeah. Harry's like my best friend.
Are you? I don't. You look like a young guy, like
Yeah.
college level,
Yeah,
right out of college or something like that.
I'm 23. I haven't graduated though. I'm not particularly the best school student.
Well, keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. Genuinely. Man, I really feel like there's 30 more seconds. Double tap screen, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here.
You're good. I can go on more rants if you want while you look it up.
No, Pierce. Hold on, here we go.
I'm good at that.
U.S. Where he said U.S. Dedicated U.S. might become. I may do it. I may not do it. That was Wednesday. He struck Thursday. Okay.
What are you trying to find? Just tell me what you're trying to find.
I was trying to
We'll
find.
just
I'm trying to
talk
find. I'm trying to find more. Quote, we're getting close to maybe doing a deal. There are 2 steps to doing it. I mean, this guy, first of all, I just want to point out, I mean, Donald Trump, like when you, this is actually the first.
It's hard to listen to. I got it.
And it's also hard to read, which is why for the first time,
it's even harder to read.
This is the first, this is the first administration that no longer engages in, they don't give like written transcripts to the press anymore. It's all video. And it's partly because when you read it, it's like that bad. Quote, we're getting close to maybe doing a deal. There are 2 steps to doing this. There is a very, very nice step and there is the violent step, but I don't want to do it the second way. End quote. Then he warns Netanyahu.
Well, that makes
Trump,
total sense.
June
There are
13th, quote, we are not involved in strikes against Iran and our top priority is protecting American forces in the region. Okay, so look, and then June he says I may or may not do it, and then leading up to strikes. So look, I'll say this.
Right.
I'll concede that I was being hyperbolic. However, I think that the lead up to that, when he's making comments like that True Social Post is a good example. When Israel is striking Iran and he says, we're not involved in these strikes, our main goal here is protecting American interests. He's signaled over and over again that he was at least, it was clear it seemed to a lot of people that he was not interested at any level at getting involved in this. And then kind of all of a sudden, that changed. That's all. And I thought the reporting was interesting about on Trump, but we can. I'll concede I was being hyperbolic.
I would even grant you that that's a fair statement. Your last statement is definitely a fair statement. But again, I don't I guess I just don't have a problem with his intentional ambiguity when it comes to these types of things. I think, in fact, it's a good strategic position for the U.S. president to intentionally be ambiguous when it comes to talking about future intentions with potential foreign adversaries. It's not like anybody in the US thought Iran, US allies really good. If we took a side, whose would it be, Iran or Israel? That wasn't the case.
Sure, sure. I think that like the difference or the disconnect becomes that like I never see Donald Trump as somebody who is uh, being strategic in that way. I think that like I view Donald Trump
How?
because
How?
I don't know that especially at the stage he's at now.
He's done it.
I
He's repeated that behavior over and over and over when it comes to not only these types of situations, but also with his tariff policy, also with so like nah, that may be a bad example because tariff basically his position is I'll run you over and then we'll negotiate backwards from there. I do understand, but like he's there's probably half a dozen to at least a dozen different examples of you can watch him chastise reporters when they ask him about questions when it comes to foreign policy, especially when there's potential conflict involved, where he's chastised them and said, "I'm not going to answer that. That'd be stupid for me to tell you." He did it on 60 Minutes. He did it on like it's over and over and
right.
over again.
I think the question becomes, yeah, and that makes sense. I think and again, like I think about this all the time, is like what's going through. I have like such low faith in whatever Donald Trump is saying that he's got that much of a plan behind it, and I think especially, and you could even say especially now. I think right now Donald Trump is he's the oldest president ever. I think he fell asleep twice in cabinet meetings this week. I think that like he's showing more and more signs of like being more you know, just more out there, if you will, if he's
Chris,
as if he's
Chris, you can't go down this road so close to Biden. Like we all remember Biden. So like I understand your point you're trying to make, but it's too soon. Like because we just came through Biden.
I don't. I think
So you
Donald.
can't
I
you,
think. I think.
this is your weakest argument so far
I think.
because we all remember Biden.
I think Donald Trump is showing much clearer signs of cognitive decline. Is in significantly worse shape right now than Biden ever was or showed. I firmly believe that.
Then I am losing a lot of respect that I
He
had for you.
He
Because
fell
like
he fell
it was
asleep. He fell asleep on camera this week in the middle of a cabinet meeting. He fell asleep. He's got
right.
bruises on the
Biden
back.
shook hands with ghosts on stage. We watched it happen in real time. Like he looked like a zombie. We all saw it. This is your weakest point, bud. I'm just telling you. From
Okay.
as far as like any of the points that you've made so far, you're not going to gaslight the entire American population and somehow convince us that the mental aptitude of Biden was better than Trump. We all watched it for 4 years. Even the mainstream left media after Biden was out basically said, "Yeah, we gotcha." And they all acknowledged the mental decline. So
Yeah.
like this is I'm not saying that if you want to make attacks on Trump, go ahead and attack him for falling asleep, doing whatever. Got it. He's old. Got it. But
Well,
after what we just came through, it seems so disingenuous and it feels like gaslighting
I think
for
that
anyone that was paying
I
attention.
think that number one, again, like when as it relates to the start of the conversation, when we talk about like the words, the things that Trump is saying, again, like I have less faith than ever that Donald Trump like has such a strategy behind some of these words. I think again a good example going backwards
I
is
agree with you there.
right, and so like again, like
I agree with you.
when we
It's
look
not a
when
strategy.
we look at him like engaging global markets and causing billions of dollars to go up and down based on like I'm angry because like an ad for Canada came out or this week he between the hours of it was on Tuesday I think or maybe it was Monday but sometime in the last few days he between the hours of 9 p.m. and midnight he posted 150 times on True Social and was going on insane stuff about posting like AI videos of God knows what, talking about how
What time was that?
between the hours of 8 p.m. and midnight.
So like 4 hours where Biden would have been asleep. In
Okay,
fact, he told his staff not to contact him
but
after 9
Donald,
o'clock. Like,
but my point is that Donald Trump is posting on Truth the most insane, like unbelievable stuff on Truth Social. He posted an AI video. It is all the post is an AI video of apparently him releasing. It's an AI Fox News video. Trump releases new, never before seen healthcare, like hospital beds called med beds, where you get in and they cure all of your like diseases, and they'll be available to the American public. You go into some of these true, so I'm dead serious. You go into some of these chat rooms, people are like, "Oh, I cannot wait for this to actually come out because my, grandma or like my cousin or whoever is facing serious illness, is facing cancer." Why is the president of the United States posting like fake videos of him launching products that like don't exist? Or he's talking about like Obama level treason conspiracies. My point is that like when
do you think he's trolling? Is that ever crossed your mind?
You have to like, if we zoom out from that question, you have to understand how mind-boggling it is to talk about what's supposed to be the leader of the most powerful country on earth is trolling on social media. What are we talking about here?
He's absolutely trolling.
Okay, I don't know.
He has learned to leverage the power of social media and like, all right, so like some things.
But why?
So
let me
like,
ask you this: why does that
I
not make you?
understand
Why
why
does,
you have
even
a
if that, even hold
problem.
on, even if I know the route you're about to go down, the leverage. Why does that not upset you? Why does that not make you say, "Wow, we have
Because
like a"?
it makes him, honestly, because it makes him more relatable to me. And when I see somebody trolling, that makes me feel like, hey, this guy is someone I could sit down with and joke around with, and we could have a good conversation in jest, and we would be on the same page because he's trolling about the things that I would troll about.
I just feel like I just feel like we
So
should.
like,
I just
no,
feel like we
that was an
shouldn't look.
honest answer. Like,
I
he
get that.
connects
I get
with
that.
me in a personal way when he trolls like that, because it's the same way that I would troll somebody.
But like, I just feel like that's not a great way to look at president of the United States. You know what I'm saying?
But it's also pretty effective when it comes to him being elected into office
Okay,
and his promotion of these
that's.
different ideologies.
I,
Like, it's important to point out and to troll bad ideas. I agree that we should troll bad ideas.
does it?
And he does it from a national stage. And I understand why you don't like it, because sometimes you can't tell when he's trolling or not, and it's hard for you. But everybody that supports him, we're all thinking, yes, this
But
is obviously
I
trolling.
don't think that that's I don't think that's a good way to look at that. B, even if you say, okay, well, it wins him elections again, like again, zooming out, this is the president of the United States. This person has like a major effect on people's lives. I would just prefer that the president doesn't troll. And to your point just there, I actually don't think that that's true. I'm reading posts about people who are excited for Donald Trump's med bed release, where you get in a bed for free and it cures your illness, because they believe that their loved ones are about to be saved from disease. Okay, again, the words Donald Trump uses have an effect. When we talk about like the tariff, when Donald Trump says over and over again, tariffs are paid for by other countries, for example. Oh, or Ukraine war is going to be over in 24 hours. These are hyperbolic things. These have effects on people's lives. I mean, I watched a TikTok of the guy from the Montana Knife Company, who I make all my products in America, and China pays the tariff.
All right.
So
Well,
so I'm gonna be saved
all right.
from.
So
Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna be saved from the tariffs. And then he makes a follow up video where his business is destroyed, and he's confused because the prices, the prices of all these, he had different, I don't fucking know what, like big different things that he had
Yeah,
like in
gotcha.
where he was making his knives. And the prices to fix and repair these things that he needed exploded, and he couldn't run his business. And it's like, well, that dude's life is fucking ruined because the president was like, oh, being hyper, trolling. It's like, what are we talking about here?
Well, I don't think that number one, I don't personally think that he thinks that he's trolling when he says that tariffs are paid for by other countries.
So he's either incompetent or he's a liar.
Well, he's not looking at it from the same perspective you are. So I
Well,
understand.
that's a problem,
Hang
right?
on.
That is step one.
Hang on.
That is-
Let me explain a little bit more. So, like, I understand that when we put tariffs on things, who pays that money when it comes into the country? Americans, right? Americans pay for that. The people that are purchasing those products, the tariffs get passed on to Americans. I think he knows that. I'm pretty sure he knows that. But what he's saying when he says that who actually pays is the business that's lost revenue because what happens when you have a more expensive product, because if I want to buy it from China, I have to pay a tariff. So what does that do?
I, if
That allows other companies to go create new products, to other companies that are already creating products within the United States are now more competitive.
Right. I think that the problem with this. Well, first of all, I really like Iron's comment. Why do Trump supporters always have to decipher what Trump really meant? I agree with that because like everything he says, we have to decipher, which again is indicative. That is
He's not articulate. I'll
that
give you
okay, and
that.
again, that is like this is kind of the point I'm about to make. Is like that is not, even if that is true, even if he's not looking at his perspective. I'm looking at it from Trump. Your opinion is that Trump understands these things, and when he's saying, "quote," it's fake that it's a myth that Americans will pay higher prices before the election because of tariffs because they're paid for by China. If if these things are just some amount of being hyperbolic or saying, "oh, we don't pay for them because let's extrapolate all these things and lost business overseas," again, I don't think that is the bar is in hell for a leader. That's not how. If a leader believes that widespread tariffs will be the answer to the problems, I would, God forbid, like him to say, "Hey, tariffs for people who don't know, for Americans who are working 2 full-time jobs and have kids and didn't study, don't want to, have to extrapolate every goddamn thing I say. Tariffs are paid for by American businesses. We may see a little bit of short-term pain, but this is the reason I'm doing that." That should be like bar in the ground reasonable shit. And I feel like Trump, out of any politician, frankly, in American history, is if we call something like Donald Trump saying that tariffs pay, when Donald Trump says, I would define Donald Trump saying that rising prices, or I'm sorry, that tariffs are paid for by other countries, and that quote it's a myth that they're paid for by American consumers. I would call that him making a either misleading or dishonest statement or a lie. And out of any figure in American history ever, politics or not, I think there's going to be, or is at least some data already, to support the idea that Donald Trump lies more consistently and more outrageously and is more dishonest than any figure in American history. And I think that, like, again, we start to compare apples to oranges when we say, "oh, let's
So
extrapolate
like
what he says." And there's politicians.
hang on, you're going too far, man. You're covering too many
I'm
things
just
that
going
I
to say
can't
one more thing.
address.
I know. I'm just going to say one more thing, which is like we keep extrapolating and saying, "oh, this, and this," and he's just any other politician. But again, I think he's not, and I think these things are like way a little bit deeper than we're making them out to be.
They are, yeah, they're deep. They're complex issues. Yes, they're. What do you mean deeper than making?
I mean, I
What do
like
you
I
mean by
think
that?
I like deeper as in like when we say like, "oh, the president is being like he's trolling," or it's like not a big deal, he's trolling, or he's being hyperbolic, or any of these things. I think that's like a way bigger deal than just, "oh, he's trolling." I think that's really bad for a variety of
Do
reasons.
you? All right. So
It actually
I'm
led, I
gonna
mean,
ask.
well, some hyperbolic trolling that you may have believed to be, "oh, this is how he wins his elections," led to a mob of his supporters beating police officers over the head on January 6th. 4 of those police officers since that day sat alone somewhere at the PTSD, the stress, and a bunch of crazy, like insane MAGA saying that they were part of a deep state conspiracy. They had families, some had kids, some had wives. And you know what 4 of those police officers did? They killed themselves. They took their own life because of the stress. So when we talk about like, "oh, I
How
understood,"
many police
I
officers were there that
are
day?
we serious right now though? Are we serious? Like these are the like this is a good
What do you
example of
mean
like
MIC is
I'm saying
serious?
like
Like, what do you mean?
does that not like do you not take a step back when you hear that and you say like,
Well, it
wow.
depends. It depends. What's the rate? What's the rate of unaliving between police officers normally? How many police officers were there? Let's compare what's a normal statistic for the amount of police officers that were there and how many of them have unalived, and let's compare it to the normal rate and see if this is abnormal or normal.
I think when the
You
president's
think what?
when the president's own supporters are at the Capitol because he spent months pushing a conspiracy
We're
about.
talking about the ratio of
No,
how
we're
many
not. We're
police
talking.
officers
No,
normal. You used it as a point because these police officers
no.
took their own lives. What's the normal rate of them
No,
taking their lives?
no. The point I'm making is that the reason that the Capitol riot happened is because of
Then
Donald
why
J.
did you bring up how many police officers
The,
took their own
the
lives?
reason I brought up how many police officers took their own lives is because you asked me.
Emphasized
Okay,
the fact that this was so bad that they took their own lives. That's what you were doing.
Yeah, okay, but I was
It's a
no,
fair and
no,
true,
no,
honest characterization.
no. There's a whole other reason I was saying this was because you started with I said we're having this conversation about whether Donald Trump's words are that deep, and I think this is a good example when families are destroyed.
You said they're that deep because people took their own lives at the Capitol after that horrible event. I'm saying how many people normally do that? How many officers were there?
I don't care because Donald Trump that event would have never happened if Donald Trump didn't perpetrate the lie of the 2020
yet
election.
Those officers might have still taken their own lives. You don't
Oh
know
my
unless you
God!
actually.
Do you believe the 2020?
You just gave.
Do you believe the 20
criticism to your previous guest and saying this is causation without correlation, or excuse me, correlation.
They
without
took.
causation.
They were all those.
So I'm
those,
trying to ask you for something that would point us towards the causation.
They were a part of the.
It's irrelevant.
They were part. The causation is they were a part of the Capitol riot, and they.
But you're not proving that by looking at what's the normal rate and what's the rate compared to the amount of people that were there. I'm saying all you have to do is say, normally, how many people within this community would normally take their lives within a certain time span? And then of those people, the people that were at the Capitol riots that day, how many of them took their lives? What percentage?
Can I ask
it's
you?
A reasonable question.
It's not. Can I ask you a question? Do you believe the 20?
Why is it not reasonable?
Do you believe that? Can you answer me this first? Do you believe the 2020 election was stolen?
Do I believe it was stolen, or can I prove it was stolen? Because I do believe that there were that yes, it was stolen. It was stolen under certain definitions.
Okay. Let me again. We're just like every single thing is just like extrapolation. So you believe Donald Trump won the 2020 election?
I believe he would have won if
no.
Yes.
This is a yes or no question. So I'm purposely. I know that there are.
No, he obviously didn't win it.
Oh my God!
Didn't win it.
Do you believe?
Look back at the election.
Do you believe that Donald Trump? Do you believe that Donald Trump, if all the votes were counted, if all the votes were counted correctly, that Donald Trump would be the president in 2020? Yes or no?
That part I don't know, but I believe if it were a fair election.
Okay,
yes.
Again, like
if the government hadn't influenced media.
God. Everybody. The government didn't influence media.
The government obviously influenced media.
No,
there's an email dump.
Yeah, the email dump shows nothing. You're about to source complete garbage, and I'm more than happy to talk about it. But again, like the point I'm trying to make here is that a lot of Trump supporters would tell me I don't believe Trump won the 2020 election. I knew he was bullshitting. I still like him, but that's just who he is.
I don't know or not know, but I believe it can't be proven. So I believe it's an irrelevant point.
It's actually
it can't be proven.
I would argue of any given subject that we could factually prove anything on the face of the planet over the last 10 years. That's one of the most proven things. I mean, there's never been a more investigated, looked at thing ever of all time. So it's pretty effing clear and proven that Joe Biden won the 2020 election.
Yeah, you can look at it as much as you want, but when you change the rules and destroy the integrity of an election, you can't then go back and
what rules were being changed? And also, I want to point out to your email dump point.
What do you mean? What rules were being changed?
I want to point out to your email dump. Can you tell me what you're talking about there?
I would honestly have to go back and
I
haven't talked about this in like literally 4 or 5 6 months.
And that's totally
so I'd have to go back and look it up.
The email dump you're referring to, a lot of it stems from the Twitter files, which show that the point was that the Biden administration was pushing social media companies to silence certain.
That was the general theme.
Subjects. Yeah,
they were encouraging and they were giving direction.
Right.
To,
couple really important things here. Obviously, like the Supreme Court and very conservative and pro-Trump, I'd argue, Supreme Court ruled in favor of the Biden administration on this issue, Biden v. social media companies, with multiple of the justices saying,
What were they sued for?
I don't know how many Republican states, but several Republican states sued, claiming that the Biden administration was violating First Amendment rights by pushing social media companies to silence Americans on both, I think, I don't know, it was a host of different things. But again, most of the
Yeah, I'm
justices,
not familiar with it.
most of the justices looked at the emails you're referring to and said, this looks like normal communication between a government and private companies. And actually, there were some pretty scathing words from some of the justices who said, like, this totally lacks merit. I mean, there's just like nothing here. But also in that point, the files, again, we're referring to, for private social media companies, we have this. It's interesting that in the dump of the emails, this email was left out. We would find it later. I'm sorry, not this email. The public information was left out. But these companies, Twitter at the time, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, so Meta, they accepted the government's request to take down information less than 50% of the time. Most of the time, they said no. And furthermore, in that conversation, again, a lot of those emails included at the time, this kind of spans different time periods, but some from the Trump administration, then the Trump campaign. Some of the emails we're talking about with Biden telling Twitter to take things down were Hunter Biden, his own son, nude. And again, most of the time, social media companies were saying, no, the government has a First Amendment right like everyone else. And this is, I would argue, how government has talked to media since the dawn of radio. They've made it very clear, both publicly and privately, what they appreciate being online and what they don't. I think the Trump administration does that probably more than anyone else when they get on a stage and say, we're going to go after CNN because they're posting fake news. So again, I disagree with any notion that the 2020 election was influenced in any type of way.
Yeah, I totally disagree with you in that sense, but okay, we can agree to disagree.
You know what they say? I don't know, actually. I was just gonna. Sometimes I just say sometimes I say this to people. I'm just like, you know what they say, and then I don't say anything.
Yeah,
Listen.
Yeah, sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's better to say like on this issue. Yeah, I would totally disagree with you. I could give you my reasons why, but you're very firm in your reasons why you think what you think, and I respect that.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, listen, it's 11 p.m. for me. Let me cycle some people up. Although we got into it a bit, you have been very respectful, and I genuinely appreciate that. You are welcome back on the stream anytime. Happy to talk again. I appreciate you being genuine. I try to be the same. And yeah, any parting words?
No, keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
I'd love to hear more of these type of conversations between actual reasonable people.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Well, we'll make it happen. Appreciate you being respectful, man. We'll talk soon. Peace. Okay. On that point, literally, as I said that, my live got restricted. Oh, wait. Is it still restricted? Or because I kicked the guess, is it no longer restricted? Which... complete per live weekly missions. I'm good, TikTok. Thank you, though. I wonder why. That's the election conversation, dude. Am I restricted? Dude, TikTok lives, like, it was an interesting chat. Dude, why can't I? I'm definitely restricted, yeah. Okay. I've got to... Oh, wait, maybe I'm not restricted. I'm confused. Double tap the screen, everybody. Share the live. Dude, TikTok Live Studio, like, on desktop is terrible, man. Like, it's so not intuitive. You'd think a company with just as many resources and as much money TikTok has, they could make a fucking... Yeah, I'm definitely restricted. Okay, we're going to have to end the live and restart it. But don't worry, when we restart, I'll show you guys what Duolingo sent me. My Duolingo body pillow. Very strange. YouTube, you guys are going to stay. You guys will stay, don't worry. But TikTok, I got to restart, and then you guys can come back. Why do I sound like helium? I think it's just a TikTok glitch. All right, be right back, everybody. Be right back. Okay, YouTube, we're still here. first of all, on YouTube, thanks everybody for being here. I'm not live on TikTok currently, got to restart, but thanks everybody for being here in the comments. You guys make me smile. Yeah, I did. I cannot. Dude, the 2020 election stuff drives me up a fucking wall. Yeah, they do. They do. AG, they do like to do that. Still go over here on YouTube. That is true. This guy's too far gone. Well, Gary over there on YouTube is he comments on all my videos. He's in everything I do. It's kind of scary, honestly. Just subscribe to seeing you on Adam's channel. Yo, thank you, Joy. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. You guys are so kind. Okay. Joy, thanks for being here, truly. Okay, before I restart on TikTok and start debating again, I'm just going to use the bathroom real quick, and then we'll restart on TikTok. Okay? You guys are the best. Give me 2 seconds. Ugh. YouTube, what is going on? I'm missing. Where is? Hello? Am I going crazy? What's going on? YouTube, I'm being driven a little mad at the moment. Give me 2 more seconds. We're gonna restart this live on TikTok. What is going on? Hello? Hello? All over my... Okay. understand now. Can we normalize content creators being on camera? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I'm sorry. I have pecan pie. I heard running water. That you did. Gotta wash your hands. Why am I not a mod here? Who is this? Is this Kayla? Oh. Okay. Okay. Oops. I call from my song. I keep singing. Na 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 na. Okay, we're good. I have Aquaphor on my face. You know what I should do? Guys, I bought, what's up? I made a purchase that honestly, I can already tell is massively benefiting my life, and that would be a very nice air purifier / humidifier, which I'm gonna turn on because the air is once again dry. I don't like dry. Very bad dry. Maggie, what's up? What's going on? Business associate. Business associate. Okay. All right, let's get a Trump supporter. Crosscut. I'm sorry, we haven't talked to you yet. Crosscut. I'm sorry. You've knocked $100,000 in Wisconsin. Hello.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
I can indeed. Oh, have we talked before?
No, I've watched a lot of you, Chris, Harry, and Parker in the past, so I'm a silent lurker.
Oh well, thanks for being here. So talk to me. What do you think about Trump?
I like some things, don't like others, but that's what I expected when I voted for him.
Okay. So would you say you're disappointed in what's happened so far?
Not really.
Okay.
I would have to go through issue by issue. Most of what I support is his foreign policy.
Okay. Does it upset you, like some of the promises he made around that haven't been achieved?
I mean, the main one I'm disappointed with is his deal for Ukraine. To be completely honest with you, I liked Elon Musk's deal that he proposed 2 years ago. I thought that was the most reasonable compromise, but we are where we are now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, promising the ending within 24 hours. Didn't work out. What do we think about Trump's economy?
Sticking with foreign issues for right now. I did not vote for Biden or anyone in 2020, to be clear, because I didn't agree with some of what happened in 2020 and up until then.
Like, such as?
I didn't like the way that COVID was handled, and that's why I didn't vote for anybody in 2020. And I didn't like some of what I knew about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden from 2020 as well. That's why I didn't vote for them. So I was too young to vote in 2016. So 2020 was my first time voting.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, 20.
I couldn't vote in 2016. I'm 1 year older than you. You said you're 23, correct?
Correct.
So
Yep.
we're about the same age.
Got it.
Yeah, no, I didn't vote for anybody in 2020. I liked Tulsi Gabbard. I was going to vote for her in 2020, and then the Democrats threw her out of the party for opposing Kamala Harris. A lot of my family's from California, so I was very familiar with her before she was really known. So didn't really care for much of what she stood for.
Okay. Well, did you have? I mean, I know you've been in here for a bit, which I appreciate. Like, what did you have anything specific that you wanted to chat about?
Sure. Let's start with this whole thing with Iran. That was hands down Biden's worst, other than the fact that, I mean, he was obviously declining in health, which was unfortunate. But his worst issue was Iran. I mean, nobody talks about it. He removed all the sanctions that President Trump put on Iran, and Iran went back to funding their jihadist terrorists.
Do we have
You know.
like substantial evidence that, um, like, actually, let me rephrase my question. Obviously, like with Joe Biden removing sanctions on Iran, similar to like an Iranian nuclear deal that Obama signed, is like, obviously like most of the money that we're freeing up for Iran is, being held in third party Swiss bank accounts that like the United States monitors. I'm not to say that like, Iran doesn't have their ways, but I think that I think that the United States position here is that we try to have a pretty good idea of like where money's going and what it's being spent on, because we practically own the bank account. So like I'm not sure that like there's really do we have any substantial evidence that there's like a massive amount of Joe Biden lifting these sanctions similar to Obama, that this led to this like massive funding of these groups that obviously are funded via, I mean, they're Iranian proxies, I understand that, but
Yeah,
I don't know
mean,
that it's
well, I
that's
mean, it's oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no,
I
go
want to premise what I'm about to say. I want to try and have a respectful debate with you. I actually am not a Republican. I'm an old school Democrat. The party of the Democrats is not the party that I remember growing up. The party of the Republicans, it's not exactly my favorite choice either, but you've got to choose one side, right? So it's pick your poison. Wouldn't you agree?
It is pick your poison. I think I'm pretty generally fond of Democrats, but I'm not sure. I'm curious what's changed for Democrats since being what the difference is between an old school Democrat and what that
Yeah,
means.
an old school Democrat would never oppose a stand your ground law in like California. I'm in California right now. I don't live here. I just am working here right now. In California, they tried to propose. There was a bill. Sorry, I'm outside because my cell service is terrible. I'm in the mountains, so stand your ground laws is. And I don't want to go down. I don't want to pivot away from Iran. I want to stay on that. But I believe in stand your ground laws. I mean, if somebody breaks into your house, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to defend your family. You know. And there was recently a bill proposed in
I have a
California.
feeling that that's unfortunately going to get federal agents
Yeah, I don't
killed.
I don't want to get you striked. I don't want to get you striked.
Oh,
So
no. That's not what I was saying. I was just going to make a point that there's an unfortunate reality that I think that's going to end up getting federal law enforcement agents killed, the stand your ground laws, considering that they're all
well,
masked and you don't have to announce, and they're just like walking onto people's properties and shit. Stand your ground laws.
what I'm getting at,
Anyway,
hold on. What I'm getting at is when somebody breaks into your house, if you shoot them in California under the law that they were trying to put into place in the legislature, you could go to prison. It would be a federal offense. They want you to call the police, and 5 years ago they just tried to defund the police. I mean, and that's another thing, by the way, that an old school Democrat like myself would absolutely never support. Um, you know, and I mean, that whole thing in 2020 with defunding the police was just as bad as, in my opinion, the attack on the Capitol. You know what I'm saying?
well, no, I don't. I don't know what you're saying, but on that topic, just very quickly, so you would agree that like the attack on the Capitol was like incredibly tragic.
Yeah, just like when the BLM people and the Antifa people burned down Kenosha,
Well,
Minneapolis,
like
and Portland.
I'm just saying, like obviously those two things are like very different because one of them was like obviously directly, like Trump told people to go to the Capitol as his supporters and based on election law, as opposed to like a bunch of private citizens like getting together and doing X, Y, or Z. So like obviously it's kind of comparing apples to oranges, but I was just surprised to hear. I mean, for a lot of people, old school Democrats, old school Republicans, certainly, that was a breaking point. That was like I'm
Oh
never,
yeah,
and I'm just surprised that wasn't a breaking point for you.
yeah. I mean, for me, with the attack on the Capitol, I mean, to me, I disagree with it. I think it was an absolutely horrible thing. To me, that was like a retaliation to all the BLM riots. I mean, I live really close to Kenosha, Wisconsin. So, I mean, I'm very intimately familiar with stuff like what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse and just the uncontrolled mayhem and death that happened from that. You know what I'm saying? You know. So for me, it was like and I don't believe in political retaliation. For example, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, if a bunch of people from MAGA went and started attacking you guys, that was what scared me. I was just like, oh my goodness, are we really doing this influencer thing? You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah,
but
I just Yeah. I mean, again, like it was
Because you got to realize, I mean, with how the news spins stuff. I mean, you watch Fox News, and the Democrats are the devil. You watch CNN. Republicans are the devil. And I've been involved in local politics long enough to know that watching the news is a terrible way to get your information. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, I just think the political retaliation point is just like it's very, I don't know, interesting to me. Again, I think this is Donald Trump obviously lying for months about like something that's should be so so foundational to like our democracy and our way of life, which is like a presidential election, which he lied about and had no evidence for, that led to like people being beat, police officers who swore an oath to protect, being beat over the head. So I just feel like that's just like significantly different than anything relating to like private citizens doing whatever they should or shouldn't be doing.
Well, let me ask you a question. At the end of the day, which set of political violence hurt more people, the BLM riots in 2020
I don't think that
or the attack on the
I
Capitol?
really don't think they're comparable. Like, because again, I think that like when we talk about, hold on a second, when we talk about January 6th, you're talking about like political violence. There was not a single Democrat at that time. There's not a single Democrat who was advocating for people to go out in the streets and do things that they should not be doing, as opposed to January 6th, where there's an entire bipartisan report, and the first practical, just over half of this highlights every single time Donald Trump, through months after losing the election, is being told in private meetings that he lost, is being told there's no evidence that he lost. He keeps perpetrating this lie, then goes through how he's talking about this January 6th day. He's being told by that he's being told by his advisors that there's people who are his supporters that are armed and that are in Washington, D.C., and he doesn't care. And then obviously going through the day itself, where there's 187 minutes where Donald Trump is aware that the Capitol has been breached and there's violence occurring and does absolutely nothing. And we know from one of the key pieces of testimony here that, he essentially told his chief of staff, his chief of staff said, "Sir, they're riding down to the Capitol," his chief of staff said, like, as they're watching on Fox News together, they're chanting to kill the vice president. And he says, well, that's something along the lines of, that's what happens when you don't listen, or you don't, listen to me or listen to the American people, or some word like that. It's suggesting that Mike Pence deserved what was happening, and thus the reason he wouldn't make a statement. Also, we learned through this that all the pictures of his staff all running around trying to get him to make a statement. Most of those people would leave and say that he was an utter disgrace for this very event, and he refused. And so, like, in that, like, that is an event that is perpetrated over months by the president of the United States. And then when it happens, Donald Trump is watching it and doing nothing about it as the president, as his supporters storm a federal building. Again, as opposed to an event that I just don't think like there's any comparison to. It's not like this was perpetrated by some political figure, someone was pushing. This was Americans, private citizens, angry that something was going on. They went out in the street and they did what they did. And I'm actually trying to make the point that is a separate conversation because it's so incredibly different.
Well, I guess the point I'm trying to get is, I get what you're saying, and I don't agree with how Trump handled that, first of all. And I want to be clear, honestly, I could never have voted for Kamala. And it was like, if I didn't vote as a Wisconsin resident, it was just going to be selling the vote to, Kamala. And I couldn't stand her, to be very clear. And I'll get to that in a minute. Now, I want to be clear. I do not condone what happened on January 6th. I think it was terrible. I see you defending police officers, but again, your party was the party that wanted to defund the police. And to stick with what I'm saying here, I get what you're saying. I didn't see very many Democrats denouncing the incredibly terrible violence that was happening all across the country. I mean, like I said, I lived near Kenosha, Wisconsin. So, I mean, the city was burned to the ground. And, I mean, you got kids like Kyle Rittenhouse getting caught in the crossfire. And then they
wait, I'm not sure Kyle Rittenhouse was caught in the crossfire. Kyle Rittenhouse.
Well, you get what I'm saying.
Kyle Rittenhouse drove 55 minutes to kill people. I mean, he wanted to be in the crossfire. I'll just be clear about that.
He defended himself against 3 people who tried to assault him.
I just want to be clear. He didn't just like he wasn't like in his house getting caught. He wanted to be there. He drove an hour to make it happen across straight lines, or 40 minutes or whatever. But continue.
But again, if somebody attacks you, you have a right to defend yourself. I mean, that's what happened. And he was found innocent. I mean, goodness gracious. He was found innocent by a jury of his peers. So, I mean, we know how that went. And I mean, here's the thing. I mean, with my local work in the political field, I mean, I've seen political violence, be perpetrated against individuals. I know a mother of 4 kids who had her brake lines cut for knocking doors for a local politician who was in Western Wisconsin. I mean, it's crazy. So my point I'm getting across to you is that I condemn political violence regardless of who it's for, regardless of what happens regarding around it, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to clear that up.
That makes sense. I just,
Yeah.
I guess it just, like, it's surprising to hear. It's like, I don't know what then the disconnect becomes if you disagree how Trump handled it, and then,
Like, yeah,
and
I
then
also
not,
disagree.
somehow not being, I mean, that is, but I just feel like that's so, I mean, you don't believe the 2020 election was stolen, do you?
No, I don't. I believe that I'm going to just be very clear. I don't believe it was stolen. I believe that suppressing the media, people on the media. I mean, myself, I had my Facebook posts taken down about Hunter Biden's laptop story. I mean, that was frustrating, And there's political leans. I mean, you go on Blue Sky, and I mean, if you misgender somebody, I mean, you're going to get banned off of there pretty quick. So, I mean, even Mark Zuckerberg came out and said at one point that the government was pressuring him to censor stories that were honestly true.
I don't believe.
But hold on, but does that equate to actual paper ballots being flipped? I don't think so.
So you disagree with Donald Trump?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
I'm just surprised that that's not like a breaking, like if some lying about something as foundational as elections that's key to our
Well,
democracy.
I mean, again, you got to realize where I'm coming from on this. I mean, I've watched the Democrats change so much as well. I mean, I was in a hard place for this. I mean, goodness gracious, it was a rock and a hard place. Because I mean, I'm looking at the foreign policy. I mean, Biden was. I mean, the Democrats spent years lying to us about Biden's mental health. It was obvious that he was declining. They would have done far better to say, "Hey, I understand he's old, he's declining in health. Hey, we need to let him retire in grace." He served 50-something years in the Senate and in the House of Representatives. Let him retire in grace, but instead they kept him propped up. I mean,
I think he kept himself propped up.
well, I mean, dude, come on. I mean, there's videos of him.
I mean, no.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying that, like, if that's your position, I don't think like it had anything to do with. I think Joe Biden is. I'm very fond of Joe Biden, but it's certainly known that he has a bit of an ego, and I think that Joe Biden still believes to this day, on his own 2 feet, he would believe if you asked him if he could not only run the country, but he would have won the election. He would say both yes. He would say yes to both of those questions.
He would have lost the election worse than Harris.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was. I agree with that. I'm just saying. I don't think it was like there's some actors propping him up. I think he's the
No,
president.
I don't
He
think
wanted
that
to say.
either. I mean, I think his advisors were definitely. I see he's declining. His advisors and the people around him had to prop him up more and more to help him. I mean, it was obvious the guy was forgetting stuff. I mean, he spent 2 weeks preparing for that debate against Trump, and I mean, that was a horrible debate. I mean, I just felt terrible. I'm like, this is my president, and it made me sick thinking that this is the guy negotiating with the people who want to wipe us off the earth. And I mean, that's essentially what the Iranian government wants to do when you look at what their fundamentalist beliefs are.
Did like any of the stuff from this week or last week about Trump concern you, like with him falling asleep and stuff?
I'm going to be honest with you. The guy, I know people who are connected to his administration. The guy does not sleep. He works like 17 hours a day. I mean, it's unhealthy.
But like
my boss does the same thing.
But like when he's falling asleep in meetings.
Well, I mean, I agree that he needs to manage his schedule better, but I mean, that's a far cry from him crapping his pants in front of the world in Paris.
So Donald Trump literally falling asleep during a cabinet meeting is like not.
Well, okay, but here's the difference. You're not going to see me absolutely deny the fact that he's getting old. I'm saying he's getting older. I think his mind's still there.
But he fell asleep in the middle of a cabinet meeting.
It's just, again, dude, you guys spent. You're kind of pivoting from the point I'm trying to make.
No, I'm not even here to say Biden is this and now
Let me just point out. Okay, let's backtrack to where we're getting from, and then I'll answer your question. Fair enough?
Yeah, I'm just trying to say I'm not trying to say that Biden is some like grandiose, was in amazing shape, and now look at Donald Trump. I was genuinely just curious.
Let me ask you a question.
You saying this is concerning, seeing my president like this, and I was again being like, well, I would assume that it is equally as concerning seeing Donald Trump literally fall asleep in the middle of a meeting, and you're like, oh.
Okay, it becomes a repeating pattern where then he gets on their stage and he forgets half of what he's saying. I mean, if it gets to that point, yes, but my bigger concern with what I was saying is not only was this my president who was obviously no longer mentally there. I mean, I watched the debates in 2020. Biden was there. He was strong in those debates, and he made a lot of good points in the Democratic debate stage in 2020. Compare that to 2024, you can see the decline. And you have Democrats constantly getting asked up until that debate, is Biden mentally, cognitively there? And they lied. They lied to us for years about it. There's just no way. You get what I'm getting at? I mean, it's just, you
understand.
can't make the disconnect. That's my point I'm getting across. So you've got Trump on one side, who did have foreign policies that were good. I mean, he had the Abraham Accords signed. He was hard on Iran. There were no new major wars under Trump. He was putting America first. And there's a lot of people like myself who are tired of us being last. We send money to countries that hate us for free. I'm sorry, we send money to countries that hate us. Why can't they hate us for free? We spend more time worrying about solving the world's problems than taking care of our own homeless people and our own veterans. I mean, it's shameful. And you know what I'm talking about. So you have a bunch of people like myself who care mostly about America and my fellow countrymen. And then you have all these politicians who do not care about our interests. And then, when somebody like Trump comes along and he actually follows through on his promises, you can understand how at least, in a rock and a hard place, that might be somewhat appealing.
I understand why that would be appealing.
And I'm not saying he's not a flawed person. I mean, Trump is a flawed person. I mean, my goodness. I'm gonna be very brutal and say this. He is a deeply flawed individual with a lacking moral compass. I have no problem with that.
I mean, that's pretty. Yeah, that's true.
And then. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, my man.
No. I was just going to say I understand. I understand the point you're making.
I mean, you get the point I'm making. I mean, the Democrats lied to us, and you go back to 2020. I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard if Biden had chosen Tulsi Gabbard as his running mate. I would have voted for him. But instead of that, I mean, she called out a lot of the things that I knew about Kamala Harris before she ran. Tulsi brought to the stage. Because I mean, let's be real, man. California's expensive. We've got some crappy policies here. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I split the issues. It depends on the issue. But when it comes to this stuff, I mean, they threw her under the bus, dude. They got rid of her. What do you think of Tulsi Gabbard? Do you hate her?
I don't love her.
Let me ask you a question. Does it have anything to do with the fact that she threw Kamala Harris under the bus for, it's maybe trying to withhold evidence that would have potentially freed an innocent man from death row? I don't like death row. I disagree with the death penalty.
First of all,
I was going to make one more point and then let you refute. Fair enough? Perhaps, I believe that anybody should be able to smoke marijuana over the age of 18. The fact that she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations in the state of California, then later laughed about doing it herself. I mean, it's just that kind of hypocrisy drives me crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that I don't like Tulsi Gabbard because I think she sold out our future and our constitution at any level to Trump and a party that hates is.
At one point, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from.
I mean, I'm saying I think anyone even closely aligned to Donald Trump at that level is if they are smart, which I think a lot of them are, they are knowingly they know that Donald Trump is, to say the least, a flawed moral individual who's also ripping apart the Constitution and expanding executive authority in a way that we've never seen before, ushering in an era of pseudo-democracy, and she cares more about her money and her, being in office than anything else. I also think that she is, as many people in the chat have pointed out, seems to be very pro, not pro-Ukraine. She seems to be very pro some of our adversaries, as Donald Trump is as well. So I think those are the reasons.
Which adversaries are we talking about here? Are we talking about Russia specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. I mean, I've wanted to have a good conversation with one of you guys for a while because I listen to you guys' stuff and it's like, my goodness, so many MAGA people. I mean, they're jerks and I don't like it.
Don't like it.
And I know MAGA people can be.
They're not.
And I'm here to say Democrats are guilty too. Yeah.
Well.
So, to stay with the theme with Tulsi Gabbard is she opposed Kamala Harris in the 2020 election. And then when Biden got into office, she ended up on a domestic terrorist watch list. That was way before she had anything to do with Trump. Mm-hmm. I mean, she served in our army. She's a veteran. and she served as a representative in Hawaii in one of the most blue districts in the country. I mean, goodness gracious, you know.
Sorry, hold on. Yo, first of all, really quickly, chat. Everybody, double tap the screen. Give me 2 seconds here. Sorry, apologies. Double tap the screen. I want to say thank you to everybody in the YouTube chat. Tulsi's a Russian spy. She's on the government watch list. Possible Russian asset. Exactly. It's not funny anymore. Good to see you. $5. I appreciate you so much. That's so kind. He's America first. He gave Argentina $40 billion during the government shutdown, letting Americans starve. How is that America first? Yo, can we get some W's for Jack in the chat? That's actually insanely kind. I appreciate you guys so fucking much. Thank you for that level of support. Truly, 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 it means the absolute world. I think there were other people, but I can't scroll up, which like really fucking sucks. Anna, thank you so much. Jack, it's not funny anymore. Tia, you guys are everybody in here is just absolutely amazing. And Ashley, thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are the best. Okay. Cross out, guys, double tap the screen here on TikTok. Cross out politics. Listen. Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard is, we live in a society. Not great. It's 11:42 p.m. for me. Unfortunately, I've got to cycle a few people up. Although, I've been very respectful, and I would like to have this conversation again sometime soon. How does that sound?
Absolutely. I'll circle back to you at some point. I'm on the West Coast right now, so.
So it's early. Go have a good Go have a good Friday. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. I appreciate you chatting and being respectful. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
All right, man. Be safe. You know what? W's in the chat. Crosscut. He's respectful. Some of the things I really didn't understand, but I appreciate you being respectful. All right, that guy. Well, Maddie. Well, it's good to see you, by the way. Okay, everybody. There's 300 people. Who else is live right now? It's like everybody live. Dean, Parker, fucking good trouble. Everybody's got to be live. I'm aging. Me? I mean, shit. I hope so. Allie, good to see you. How are you? Double tap the screen for me. There's 100 people watching on YouTube. There's 310 people watching on TikTok. Ellie, good to see you. How are you? And look at that profile picture, Maggie. Wow, the grandpa. Nanny, thanks for the gifts. I really appreciate everybody over on YouTube. If you guys want to watch me on YouTube, you can. Also, this entire stream will be on YouTube to watch afterwards. But we're here. That's right. That's right. Well, listen. Do me a favor. You guys have to. Can you guys help me with something? And I'm gonna do this again later in the night when there's more people, assuming that people flood over from other lives. But I need everybody's help, both on YouTube and TikTok. Double tap the screen. We're gonna let a Trump supporter up. The next Senate. There's a Senate race. Hear me out here. There's a Senate race in Illinois. Okay, and there hasn't been a long time. Dick Durbin is retiring. There's a big Senate primary. A lot of Democrats competing. I recently moved to Chicago. I was born and raised in Atlanta. And I have my endorsement and an individual that there's actually many individuals here coming shortly. You may see. Some of you may know. I can't reveal names, but having some really cool interviews soon. Some different governors around the country, but I won't name names. But regardless, we need the senator from Illinois that must be is current Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. The governor from Illinois right now is J.B. Pritzker. J.B. Pritzker's running mate is Juliana Stratton. Juliana Stratton's the obvious choice, okay? I would argue Juliana Stratton is the top two in this race are Juliana Stratton and then a current sitting representative, Roger Christian Worthy. He is everything wrong with politics, in my opinion. He's got like a giant war chest. He takes money from everybody, and we just learned recently he's taking money from MAGA donors. That guy sucks. We cannot let him win the Senate race. So with that being said, because Juliana Stratton supports many great policies, isn't taking corporate PAC money, so many great things, do me a favor. They're in my link tree. Follow Juliana Stratton on Instagram. She's at 9,132 followers right now. Juliana for Illinois is her Instagram. I would like tonight to get her to 10K. That's 800 people. Now, I know later in the night, I'm hoping, because when people get off, they come to me when they leave the other individuals. So I'm hoping we have more people. But do me a favor, show some love over there. Show some love. Rhea Riot got the follow. Go follow Juliana Stratton. She's got to be the next governor, and she needs help because she's not taking any corporate PAC money, which means the war chest is low, and she's got to compete against a guy who's taking money from every person in the world, including MAGA donors. And so we don't want a Democrat senator in Illinois who literally sucks up to Trump. That would suck. So Juliana Stratton, go follow her on Instagram. We'll say it again. I went and followed her on Instagram. Thank you so much. Thank you. Drop some follows. Appreciate you guys. Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Ken's, you're the best. What's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
So what's going on in your profile picture there, Chan?
Just a funny little dwarf.
Okay. Why do you like
What's
Trump?
wrong?
Why do you like Trump?
I think he's doing the best for his country. And I can't say that the past presidents have done that.
Can you name a piece of Trump legislation he passed that's not the big beautiful bill?
He hasn't passed much in this current political cycle, just because.
Actually, the least amount of any president in the last 7 decades.
Didn't know that,
Yeah,
but
you do
he
know.
hasn't. Yeah, I do know. Appreciate it. So can't name anything this current cycle, but the previous cycle, I would say something big that he passed was the Abraham Accords.
That's not a piece of legislation. But
Not legislation. Okay. Define legislation then. What are you looking for here?
I'm sorry. I just I was gonna do that earlier. I don't know what's going on with your name. You be safe. Your name's also just like, I'm just looking at this like this has to be a troll or something. So I'm sorry, but can't do that. I'm so sorry. It's wow. You be safe. You be good. Who else is live right now, chat? Yo, Cats, thank you. Stratton. Yes, Stratton. Don't have Insta? You can also follow her on TikTok or any other place. Facebook, maybe. Stratton. Juliana. A great individual. Go follow her. There's a link in my link tree. Okay, at least you're sorry. I am sorry. This isn't really like a new place. I just be decorating my place these days. You can Facebook. Juliana Stratton. Go follow. I don't know. I'm watching you. Amanda's live? If you're a Trump supporter, let me know. Eric, Dan. Erica. So you're telling me Good Trouble's not live, Parker and Dean are live? What the okay. Parker went down with internet issues, never returned. Interesting. Bro, what are okay? Well, we just have people in my chat, you know. Quiet night, yeah. Seems kind of seems a little quiet. A little quiet. Double tap. When I was in the live, they were crazy. All quiet on the western fronts. Excuse me. I think people are at Christmas parties. Yeah, actually, it is it is a Friday. I choose to believe it's because the support is dwindling. Support for me is true. It's dwindling. I'm kidding. I'm good. Okay, well, here's the deal. It's 11:49. I'm taking an intermission. This is what I'm doing. I need to eat. I know it's crazy because it's 11:49, but I gotta go. I'm gonna go make some food, and then I'm gonna return. I'm gonna return in a bit, but I gotta take a break. I gotta take a time out. I literally had a back-to-back. Maddie, that's crazy. We'll come back in a bit. I might go live on my phone. I feel like TikTok Live Studio sums up. I will. Kens. I will. Cooking with Chris. People love it. People love it. Someone says I'm literally watching Parker live right now. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And MAGA. Erica's MAGA hunting tonight. I love it. I love it. Okay. We'll be back, folks. I love all of you so much. YouTube, thank you again for all the support. We'll be back live shortly. Thank you. Megan, you're the best. Raya, Leah, you guys are all amazing. Twitch, you never know. You never know. See you soon. Ellie, love you. Ken's, you're the best. Spicy, you're the best. Kendi, be safe. Everybody, you guys are all the best. Raya, Maddie. That's right. That's right. All right, I'll see you guys soon. I promise. I'll be back. I love all of you very much. Very much. Be safe out there. And YouTube, thank you again for all the support. We'll be live again soon.